You have probably noticed that there are many things in English that you can separate into casual and formal. For example, clothing, events, and even relationships. Conversations are no exception. Every English learner should master different communication styles with other person to be able to hold conversations of different levels of importance and with people of different levels of familiarity. You need to keep proper expressions in mind to be able to use them depending on the situation. Sometimes just a few words are all it takes to turn the conversation completely different. So today in this video we will learn about formal English. Any conversations begins with a greeting. Formal greetings in English are appropriate when you communicate with colleagues, business partners, as well as people you meet for the first time. When meeting new people, you need to find out the person's name, give your name in response, and say that you are pleased to meet them. So here is a set of phrases formal greeting. Like you can say hello, how have you been? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends at what time of the day you are meeting that person. I'm glad to see you. I'm happy to see you. I'm pleased to see you. Good to meet you. My name is Preeti. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name? Then the possible responses to the formal greeting. He or she may respond in this way. Fine, thank you. And you? Fine, thanks. What about yourself? Very well, thanks. Pretty good, thank you. If you did not hear what the other person said, ask them to repeat using one of the phrases. Sorry, pardon, could you please repeat it? So, these are the tips to start a conversation. Now we will move to another part, which is conversation starters. After you have greeted the person, you need to continue the conversation. When talking to a friend, you are likely to quickly find a topic of conversation. However, if you have just met a person for the first time, so you can start like about food, likes or dislikes. It depends, whatever questions you have in your mind at that time. At a formal conversation, so you can use all these phrases to start a formal conversation in English. Like, I have heard so much about you. How do you like this conference? Is it the first time you are joining? I'm from Greece. And you? How do you like it here? How long have you been here? How are you? How are you doing? How are the things? How have you been? How's your day going so far? How is it going? This is my first time in India. What do you recommend visiting me here? Now, once you have the person's attention, it is important to be able to keep the conversation going. Most likely, your new acquaintance will ask a question or will be interested in your point of view or on a topic. To answer them, you need to know these phrases to start a conversation. Like you can say, in my opinion or in my experience, the way I see it from my point of view, it seems to me that to my mind, what I mean is, as far as I'm concerned. So these are the phrases that would help you to start a conversation and to tell other person like you are thinking in this way. Now these phrases which I'm going to tell you now will be appropriate in both formal and informal situations. They are neutral. If you are at business event or at a meeting, say them in a very calm tone. And at a party or if you are at a party with your friends, you can get bit emotional. So these phrases are, I agree with you entirely. I totally agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I couldn't agree more. You are absolutely right. Absolutely, exactly, no doubt about it. I suppose so. I guess so. I was just going to say that. This is exactly what I think. So these phrases will help you to give your point of view, whether you are agree or disagree. In case you disagree with someone, so you need to be very polite at that time. So these phrases further will help you to tell other people that you disagree. So what are the ways to say? Like you can use this phrase like, I'm afraid I have to disagree. I beg to differ. Yes, but don't you think I agree to some extent? Not necessarily. On the contrary, the problem is that dash dash dash. No, I'm not sure about that. No, I disagree. What about? I am of a different opinion because now you can tell your response. With all due respect, dash dash. So it would be a very polite and formal way to say someone that you disagree. Now, the best part of the formal conversation, like interrupting someone without offending them, is a real skill. Of course, it is important to note that you should not interrupt the speaker and wait until they are finished to express your opinion. However, it is necessary to intervene in the conversation. Make sure to say excuse me first and then use one of the following sentences. Like you can say, excuse me for interrupting, but, or you can say apologize for interrupting, sorry to interrupt you, can I say something here, if I might add something, can I just mention something, do you mind if I come in here and say something, before you move on I would like to say something. So these are the very polite way to say someone that you also want to say something or you want to express your opinions. So, in the last, how to say goodbye formally. After the conversation, you need to say goodbye to your new acquaintance. Of course, the standard goodbye is suitable for almost any given setting. However, you can say goodbye with all these phrases that I'm gonna tell you now. So, you can say, use this expression, have a good day, have a good night. I look forward to our next meeting. It was so nice to meet you. See you again. Want to give you some additional tips. As you already know, the formal style is used in official settings when communicating at conferences, at presentations, conducting business negotiations, writing documents, corporate emails, and scientific articles. So, you should follow several rules to make the speech sound more formal. So, whenever you are in a formal conversation, avoid using contractions. Now, what are the contractions? Like when we say, I don't, she doesn't, I can't. So, these are the contractions. So, in formal writing, there is no place for contractions like I don't. Instead, use the complete form of the words like I am, I would, I do not. I hope all these tips will be useful for you. If you are also going to be in a formal conversations, so these tips would help you further. Let me know whether these tips were useful or not.